This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Hello viewers, you're watching Pulse of Africa. I am Sameh Mohammed for the main news. First, our top stories for today. Rwanda severs diplomatic ties with Belgium. Ethiopian Airlines launched its new private charter plane service. Ghana to partner Liberia in cocoa production. China and UK pledge to jointly address climate change. Now, the news in detail. Belgium responds by saying Rwanda diplomats no longer welcome as ties fray over respective roles in the DR Congo conflict. Rwanda's President Paul Kagame has accused Belgium of advocating for international sanctions against his country over the conflict in eastern DR Congo. Rwanda says it has cut diplomatic ties with Belgium and ordered all of their country's diplomats to leave the country within 48 hours, drawing a swift response from Brussels. Belgian Foreign Minister Maxime Prévost said on X, Belgium regrets the decision of Rwanda to cut off diplomatic relations with Belgium and to declare Belgium's diplomats persona non grata. M23 rebels on Monday pulled out of peace talks with the Democratic Republic of Congo's government. The rebel alliance, of which M23 is a member, said it was withdrawing from what could have been the two sides' first direct negotiations because of European Union sanctions imposed earlier in the day against M23 and Rwandan officials. The Congo River Alliance said in a statement that the EU's actions was aimed at obstructing the much-anticipated talks. The M23 has long demanded direct negotiations with the Kinshasa government, but Congo President Félix Tshisekedi had refused, arguing that M23 is merely a front for Rwanda. Moving on to Ghana. Ghana, the world's second-largest cocoa producer, says it is ready to share her experience and expertise in the production of the cash crop with her West African neighbor Liberia. President of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, said Ghana had garnered a lot of experience and research into cocoa production. He had spoken with President Joseph Boakai of Liberia to see how the Ghana Cocoa Board could partner with Liberia to beef up with cocoa production using modern methods as a joint venture between their two countries. The president made the disclosure during the credential ceremony at the seat of government in Accra on Thursday to receive letters of credence from Mr. Musu Jaturuhule, ambassador of Liberia, to Ghana. The president said he was going to send the leadership of Ghana Cocoa Board soon to discuss with their counterparts in Liberia to see how they could start some joint production to cocoa together. Shifting to Tunisia. Tunisia's National Guard rescued 612 migrants and recovered 18 bodies off its Mediterranean coast. The rescued, including women and children from sub-Saharan Africa, were attempting to reach Europe. Tunisia's National Guard said on Monday its forces had rescued 612 migrants and recovered the bodies of 18 others in several operations overnight off the country's Mediterranean coast. Sharing images of some those rescued, including women and children, after the boats capsized, the force said they were all migrants from sub-Saharan African countries attempting to cross the sea to Europe. In other news, Mark Carney, Canada's new Prime Minister, broke with tradition on Monday by visiting Europe rather than the United States for his first foreign trip as the country's leader. Carney was welcomed to Paris by cheerful President Emmanuel Macron before arriving in London, where he met with UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and had a private audience with King Charles III, who is both Britain and Canada's head of state. Carney told Macron that Canada is the most European non-European countries and promised to be a reliable, trustworthy and strong partner to Paris. Macron praised Canada for standing side by side with France and Europe, saying, "Carney, we're welcoming a friend and we're receiving you with a lot of joy." Moving on to our next story. Chinese Vice Premier Ding Zhujiang met with Ed Miliband, UK Secretary of State for Energy, Security and Net Zero, in Beijing on Monday. The two sides agreed to enhance cooperation in jointly addressing climate change. Ding said developing stable and mutually beneficial relations between China and the UK serves the common interest of the two people, facilitates global economic growth, and promotes joint efforts to address global challenges. Miliband said the UK government's sincere hopes to enhance engagement with China, is committed to developing a long-term and constructive bilateral relationship and stands ready to strengthen cooperation with China on energy, security, and addressing climate change.
The story of resurgent Ethiopia and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel, all the time. Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.
Turning to business news. Ethiopian Airlines expand VIP charter service with arrival of Boeing 737-800 business jet. Ethiopian Airlines Group has officially launched its new private charter plane service, marked by the arrival of brand new, meticulously customized Boeing 737-800 luxury executive jet. This strategic move addressing the growing demand for exclusive and tailored travel, allowing Ethiopian Airlines to better serve high-profile clients. During the unveiling event, Ethiopian Airlines Group CEO Mesfin Aso emphasized the significance of this acquisition, highlighting it's for the first time that the airlines has acquired such luxurious aircraft exclusively for the VVIP customers. He further elaborated on the airline's motivation, saying, "We have brought this aircraft to enhance our business jet services." Finally, global trade reached an all-time high of $33 trillion, posting 3.7% annual growth in 2024, according to the Global Trade Update by UN Conference on Trade and Development on Friday. The significant growth in services trade, which surged by 9% last year, was a key driver, contributing $700 billion, or 60% of the total yearly increase. Meanwhile, good trade grew by 2%, contributing $500 billion to the growth. Developing economies passed developed nations, with imports and exports rising 4% for the year and 2% in the fourth quarter, driven mainly by East and South Asia. On the other hand, developed economies saw their trade stagnate for the year and drop by 2% in the last quarter. Before concluding, let us provide you with the latest updates on global commodities prices. Now, to weather updates. That's all for today, and thank you for watching Pulse of Africa.
This is Pulse of Africa, the face of Ethiopia, the voice of Africa.